Hi guys, so I just got off the Star Ferry, which is kind of iconic here in Hong Kong. I didn't bother showing you the video itself of that today because it's a bit overcast, so I'll wait for it to be a nice sunny day. But the idea today is, there's to basically just take a route that doesn't involve loads of tourists, and therefore it's just something that most people just wouldn't do. But the idea, as I say, is just to kind of do things that not everyone would do, just so that you can just experience Hong Kong and just not do everything that everybody else does all the time. So, just off the bat, I think I will walk from here. So down there is the Avenue of Stars, which is like the equivalent of Walk of Fame in Hollywood. So you got like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and other well-known Hong Kong movie stars, China Fat, Michelle Yeoh, etc., etc. But we won't do that today. As I say, we'll just do something a little bit different, just so that you get to know bits and bobs and places and things to do that not everybody's going to do. So, like I said, that's Avenue of Stars. This is Cannon Clock Tower, which has been there quite a while, but moved decades and decades and decades ago. Like I say, in the background you can see Victoria Harbour and the skyline of Hong Kong and the city itself. But I'll put together a nice montage of video clips when it's a nice sunny day, so it doesn't do it justice today. All right, there, that's Canton Road, which is a big strip for shopping. Well, I say that, everywhere in Hong Kong is loaded with shops, but Canton Road, Nathan Road, which would be the next road adjacent to, Shoppers Paradise. And there's big malls, there's loads of little independent shops. If you want things like electronics are like the cheapest in the world in Hong Kong. Likewise, if you want big designer brands, it's actually cheaper here than the mainland. So a lot of mainland Chinese come down here to do their shopping because there's no sales tax in Hong Kong, whereas China's like 20-25%. Over there was an old police maritime headquarters, which they've redone. It's called 1881. It's quite nice to have a little look around. But what shall we do? I think actually, Kai Tak, which used to be the airport right in the middle of Hong Kong, but redeveloped years ago. They've recently had a new sports stadium and like kind of sports themed bars and restaurants, which I actually haven't looked at yet because it was only completed last year. So I may as well go there. Excuse me. This, obviously, find it. Cultural centre. So yeah, like arts and crafts and movie promos. etc. go on in there pretty much every day of the year. That has got to be the most luxurious YMCA in the world. It's like if you walk in there, you'd think it was a 5-star hotel, as opposed to the usual all over the rest of the world, which is you know, the kind of dingy little crappy hostels. But not so with that one. Moving up another grade, you have the bus gets out of the way. Okay, bus is stopped. You have the Peninsula Hotel, which is one of the best hotels in the world, constantly ranked top 5-10. So if you want a luxurious stay here in Hong Kong, that is one of the best. I mean, there's loads of 5-star hotels in Hong Kong anyway. There's no shortage of them. Yeah, it's also, it's got a bit of British history to it, so see, it's kind of a colonial building, but they also do afternoon tea. So if you want tea and scones or scones, depending on your pronunciation, you can do that every day as well. So high tea. Space Museum, if you want to go and see some space stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much something to do for everybody. So, like I say, this is TST, or Shin South Choi, as it's officially known. Space Dome over there. Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, Armani and so on, all inside the arcade underneath the Peninsula Hotel. Nathan Road's pretty famous. Loads of tourists go to Nathan Road. And if you're on a budget, you want to stay somewhere really dirt cheap and you don't mind sleeping in a shithole. There's a notorious, or infamous place called Tsui Mansions. So that's cheap. I mean, you can get a room in there. You can tout, so you banter with the with the guys outside. So you can get a room there. Nothing to speak of, so don't expect bouquets of flowers and champagne when you arrive. You could get it as cheap as $50 Hong Kong, which is like less than £5 English. Can't go wrong. Museum of Art as well behind me. Over there is, it's called K11. So that's a mixture, mainly shops, lower level, restaurants, bars, etc. Expo spaces, hotel in there as well, another 5-star hotel. We'll go up Nathan Road for a little bit. Just waiting at the traffic lights. I've said before, it's mainly for the benefit of yourselves, but when I first started exploring Hong Kong, I literally just got off the plane and then just walked everywhere. Just because you get to know where you're at if you do it that way. I get it that not everyone can walk 100 miles a day, but if you are able, I would suggest doing that wherever you go. Because what's the point in just going underground everywhere and not seeing anything? Yeah, that's just my take. So whatever takes fancy in terms of how you travel. There's MTR stations everywhere, MTR mass transit rail. So if you want to do it that way, you can. Me personally, I just like to walk, because you get to see what you're doing and where you're going. Hong Kong's never short of a new skyscraper. It's a never-ending construction work. By the way, I always jaywalk, which you're not really supposed to do, but everybody takes a blind eye to it. I mean, you can't really do anything wrong here. Yeah, I mean, if you ever get stopped by the police, which they're allowed to do, by the way, in Hong Kong, you can get searched. I mean, in all the years I've been here, I've only ever been searched once. But they do it just as a precautionary thing, if you're travelling around, especially if you're travelling all the time and you've always got a backpack with you. They do have the right to search, just in case you're a naughty person. But the likelihood of you, especially if you're an obvious tourist, likelihood of you getting stopped and searched is pretty much 0.000, more than zero. Excuse me. So it's just a little back street, Minden Road, Minden. Again, it's this route I'm taking you on. Most people wouldn't take it, well, unless of course you live here. But as a tourist, you wouldn't know where to go. So, hence the reason for the video, just gives you a different perspective. Yeah, just follow the trail. Just this one coming up is another massive shopping mall. It's another K11. Again, big old building. So it's shops on the bottom, and then the tower above is mainly offices, but I believe it's got some people living in there as well. Residential is the word I was looking for. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me there. So this road's well known to people that live here, but not so much for people that don't. Modi Road. But all this is pretty easy if you just go on your maps or whatever, whether it's Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever. It's easy to navigate. I wouldn't say it's a grid system, but it's as close to as it could be. Because Hong Kong terrain and landscape wouldn't allow for an actual sort of US style grid system. But it's very easy to navigate because if you're on Hong Kong Island itself, depending on which way you're facing, but if you're facing north, then you just walk forwards to get to the sea, and if you're facing south, you walk backwards and you get to mountains. So all you've got to do is look up, and that you can also apply that to the sort of various landmark buildings as well. So again, just look up and you'll see IFC, International Finance Centre, Central Plaza, which is in Wan Chai, WANCHAI, and numerous others. The centre, spelled ER, so the American way around. So an interesting mix of British and American terminology. Obviously Hong Kong was part of Britain, which way should I go? I want to go that way, but I'll have to go walk up and then back down. Yeah, so obviously Hong Kong was part of Britain until 97. So there's a lot of territory, road names, buildings, landmarks, etc., which are obviously British. So like Victoria Park, Victoria Harbour, Victoria this, that and the other, because it was obviously occupied during, or initially anyway, occupied during Victoria's reign. And then, yeah, there's quite a lot of American terminology as well, which is obviously American English stems from English or British English anyway, so it's just a few spelling differences. It's I like the centre, which in British English would be RE, American English ER. So I want to go over there, but I've got to walk up. Yeah, across the road. But yeah, I'm taking you, as I already said, taking you on a route where, well, number one, you're not just swarmed with people, so there'd be millions of people on the main strip, like Nathan Road, Canton Road, etc. So I'm taking a route which is a bit quieter and somewhere that you wouldn't go without someone like me posting a video or videos like this. Bash someone's head in, like, to the right. Sorry. Pseudo, that's alright. It's my fault. Like a pseudo mini Colosseum, I guess. Say pseudo, it's not exactly brand new. It's been in existence for over 100 years. Not quite as old as the Romans, but something of interest should you be in this part of Hong Kong. Do you decide to, well, if you ever make it to this kind of area, again it's TST, Tsim Choi, and it's essentially just taking the side streets, I suppose. If you want like very cheap kind of street food, loads of places like that dotted around everywhere. So it's like ranging between $15 Hong Kong and $40, so less than £1.50, up to £4, less than £4. 7.8 Hong Kong dollars to the US dollar as well, if you want to do that exchange. Coming up to a little square. Which may have changed because I haven't been here for a while. In fact, all these videos which I will be posting, I'm kind of re-exploring myself as well, because I haven't wandered around like this for years. So I'm kind of on a little journey with you, although I have been everywhere before. I'm doing it all again for the first time in quite a long time. Excuse me, got a bit of a cough and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, I guess you would call it a piazza or a plaza, or just a square if you're English, or what, American or Western. Well, not Western, for Spanish it would be a piazza. Quite a few decent bars are still here, it's good. Because us Brits, we don't like drinking, you see, so... So there's a strip of bars, restaurants there. And continuing on the other side as well. And actually on over the other side too. But I'll leave you to it for a second, because I don't just want to waffle on for like 2 hours, bore you to death. So I'll split it up and do it in bits and bobs. So I'll chop it up later and you can have a look at it. Hopefully, if I'm any good at using new tools I've got on the Mac, a decent video.